On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Washington Redskins. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule.
Set, 380.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First carry for Darius Geis, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Former 4th-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open, and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
Now Rivers, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Red! Red! Set! Delta!
They start on the ground with Geis. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now...
And he will score! Touchdown, Falcons! Their mobile, agile quarterback. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. Able to power through. Space to maneuver at the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Off the play fake here, Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Grady Jarrett coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Atlanta now coming out on the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll set up a throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. 10 more there and another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Dancing to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flushed out right. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled.
He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Rivers now to throw on first down. Airing one out for and that's caught inside the 30. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw here for Rivers. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? The legal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Here's a give to Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. And it's the Jaguars who have the lead in the second quarter. Blake?
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now they try the right side here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking deep for Julio. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Delta! All right.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Load it! Load it! Set! Round 80!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hodges. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is taken around the 12. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They're going to look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Gone!
Back to throw here. Buying time to his left. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back in that Philly, here we go! Gone!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, And now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Oh, shit. And now off to the races down the right side. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Smith. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They go back to the ground with Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.